So it's happy Thursday, Good Friday, um, Saturday, I don't know, Easter Sunday, right? But good to see everybody. I'm Ron Story. I'm the head of membership and product at SpeakerHub. And this is our daily co-working call for Thursday, April the 17th. I'm joined by Angela Lewis, who's the head of operations. She makes our team run and keeps this business afloat while I'm out here telling jokes and going on podcasts and stuff. So, um, good to see everyone. Nice to see a couple of new people, Nakia Birch and Georgine Summers. Good to see you guys. If you want to go ahead and take this time and introduce yourselves, that would be great. So if Georgine, you want to go first, that'll be good.
Of course. I'm Georgine Summers, also referred to as Edgy Georgine at times. And I'm an author, a transformational speaker, uh, an adventurer, a risk taker. My latest book, which is my true story, is called Angels in Sin, Mayhem, Money, and Murder. I did not murder anyone, but there was murder in my life. And so right now, it just was released over the last week, and the initial reviews are mind-blowing, literally. I mean, they're long and even suggest that the book needs to be on the big screen and in television series. So it's pretty exciting stuff. I decided to really put myself more into the speaker part of things because my life is about just saying yes to challenges, jumping off cliffs without a net. And I find that so many people are prevented from living their dreams and reaching their highest potential for growth and greatness because of fear. And most of the fears are really irrational. And so I think in my talks, I find that I transform people's lives because of the things I've done. And they're somewhat crazy, really crazy. Yes, but anyway, I'm just happy to be in this group and happy to meet all of you and looking forward to doing some wonderful things together.
Oh, that's cool. That's really cool. How'd you find out about Speaker Hub, Georgine?
Well, because I joined at Charlie James Speakers, and then I've been working on some courses and things because I've done some speaking engagements for big groups in Canada and Las Vegas, but I haven't really pushed the speaking. And now because I really see that one talk can reach a lot more people than doing individual coaching and things of that nature. And so that's what I want to do. I want to be able to change people's lives. And so many people, they're not true to their values. They say they want one thing and then they manifest it and then they find out, oh, that's not really what I wanted. But sorry, you now involved other people in your life. You brought in somebody because you said you wanted a friend with benefits. And P.S., a month later, you're calling and saying, I just called you the other night. Where the hell were you? It doesn't work that way. So you have to be true to your values. Yeah, you have to know yourself. And so many people don't. They really don't. They settle for things that are just, when I say when a relationship is broken and you can't fix it, next. There's no argument. Why stay? There's 8.5 billion people out there on the planet. Surely you can find someone that will love, respect, honor, and admire you. And if not, you're better off alone than alone in a relationship.
No, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, welcome. You're always welcome here. I think you may be the first person that has come from Charlie Jane, but I'm glad you found us. And let's
I
see.
haven't been a member there for very long. And not
Okay.
even long enough to get my success tracker up. So
Okay.
it's moved very quickly.
Okay. Cool. Nakia Birch, is this your first time with us? I think it may be.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. And hello, everyone. I am Nakia Birch. I am a fractional CFO, and I'm basically, my mission is to help business owners just understand where their money's going, why, they are making money, but still wondering where it all went and why they're not growing and scaling as they we're hoping. So yeah, I'm a woman of few words, so that's me in a nutshell. And I was referred to this group by Victor Felix.
Okay, perfect. Victor's the branding king. He comes on all the time and talks about branding. And Victor knows that our job at Speaker Hub, we're a bit different than every other speakers bureau out there. We focus on speakers who are entrepreneurs who want to use speaking as an alternative to dancing on TikTok, right? Like, we don't want you out there doing goofy TikTok dances to try to build your business or to sell your book, when nothing is more compelling than your story. With AI taking over everything and replacing everybody else, AI can't replace Georgine's story. AI can't replace the insight and the experience that Nakia has, right? So the ability to use your ability to tell your story and to use your voice to grow your business and your opportunities, that's what I'm really good at. So that's what I teach. I've never been paid $15,000 to show up to talk because they like the cool words that I said. It's not the world I come from, but I've solved $15,000 problems by giving a talk. So that's what we want to help you all to do. Any other wins so far? We got our introductions done. Any wins so far this week before we go into the holiday weekend?
Yes,
I
I
see.
have
I see Lethea Owens done popped back up like the Undertaker on the wrestling. She done came back to life.
I've been hosting retreats. I've been all over the world doing retreats. It's been amazing serving my clients in that way. I've missed you all, but I am back. I just want to say I did a speaking engagement this past week from a lead that I got from SpeakerHub. Killed it, crushed it, knocked it out of the park. And I just want to remind everyone of the importance of turning those speaking engagements into spin-off business and product sales. So I've been really working on my product suite and I'm going to be very transparent. For that audience, I didn't really have a product, but I created a product so that I could make an offer at the end of that talk and was able to leverage that opportunity. So just wanted to share that as a win.
No, that ain't a little win. That's a big win. That's what we all about, right?
Right.
Number one, get the gig and then turn it into more business. One of the things that we are very deliberate about is reminding our speakers that your self-worth isn't determined by the event planner's budget, right? So don't attach your self-worth saying, well, they said they would only pay me $500. Cool. That's their budget. That's not your personal self-worth. So, like Lethea said, she created other products in order to up the amount of money that she was able to make and provide value in another way. So, Georgine, whether that's your book or other things, if an event planner doesn't have the money to pay you up front, ask for a table to sell your book.
Right.
We want to make sure that you're generating revenue. We don't believe in free speech at SpeakerHub.
Good.
We think every time you speak, you should get paid, right? So,
Absolutely.
that's how we look at it. So, any other wins? Any wins from anyone else?
I had an amazing interview yesterday from one, of course, SpeakerHub, and it was an HR division, and they'd been around for 40 years. And, they invited me as a partnership. They said, well, this is what, if you're, wellness and leadership development coach, that's the category we put you in. So, I went there and as Lethea said, I knocked it out of the park. And it's a division that's been around for 40 years. And, she said, no, you're too engaging to be off on a side thing. We're putting you in our system as a keynote speaker on your subject. So I went in there knowing they were going to ask for money, leaving. They didn't ask for money, but giving me the potential to earn money. So that was amazing. It was just a fantastic interview. It should have been half an hour. It went to an hour because they were just dissecting different parts. And they said, the product being in my burnout framework, she said, you've got to go on a stage and talk about this. So that was a great. I'm doing one this evening again at 5:00, which is a podcast. Didn't have to pay for that, but I have space in their holistic magazine, being a certified herbalist. So it's been a busy week.
That's a big deal. Like, opportunities. That's the one. You just never know who's listening. That's the one thing I learned. You never know who's listening. And if you want to go ahead, Georgina?
Yeah, I want to talk about a win of a different kind
go
this
ahead. Yeah,
week,
let's
but
talk
it was
about
really a win. So I have a number of books out already, but this particular book, because it's my life story, was super important because my life has not been like 99% of other people's lives. But anyway, so this last week, while I've been struggling, I put Ingram Sparks on to do the actual distribution and printing, and I have books literally in my hand, but I couldn't seem to get Amazon KDP because all of these companies have gone to incredible lengths to avoid having a live person speak to you. So they give you articles, they send you to other people to answer questions and everything. And Amazon is a wizard at it. So I had finally found out how to get to a live person, but I spent the better part of 10 days calling them, not getting the right information of how I could, number one, get the KDP book up to show the categories, and also get my paperback book up, because it turns out that a 6x9 paperback book printed by Ingram Sparks is different than a 6x9 book printed by Amazon. And so it has to have that tiny little extra bleed in it, but nobody told me that for 10 days. And I struggled and struggled. And I have a publicist that I've hired that's costing quite a bit of money. And so here he's just sitting there waiting, and I can't get it done. And finally, on Saturday, a live person from Amazon actually told me the actual dimensions. My editor got the graphics guy. He had to bleed each page of the nearly 400-page book individually. And it went up on Sunday. The categories are up on KDP. I'm exclusively on there for 90 days, which they demand. But I tell you, I was turning gray, and I said, it's not an appropriate color for me. I don't like the gray. I like the red and the blonde, and I want to stay young. And so it was a win because I won on this Amazon struggle. And
No, I think we all sometimes fight with the technology. And that's one of the things we try to make easy for our speakers, is to make all of our tools and our resources user friendly. So,
thank you.
The key is to keep fighting. You got to just keep pushing through, guys.
Well, if anybody has an Amazon problem, I have the final key of how many times you need to go around and what you need to do before you can actually have a live person call you back, and they do within a few minutes. Okay. So anybody needs that information, I'm happy to share it.
Perfect. No, that's cool. I was able to pull up your page. I saw you got 4 or 5 books out there. That's really cool.
Yeah.
So any other wins? Anybody else slam dunk something? Surveys? Anybody? Look, we've been doing these surveys for a long time. How are these surveys coming along? Don't be hiding. Larry, what's going on, man? How have you been? Anything new in your world?
Everything's great. No surveys here, but last week, at the end of the week, I reached out to 4 or 5 folks and just asked for a testimonial.
Okay.
And I probably got the best testimonial of my career. On Saturday night, I was at a professional lacrosse game, and I'm looking at my phone going, who's this message from? And honestly, if I wrote this myself, I wouldn't have been this nice to myself. It was unbelievable. So I posted it on my SpeakerHub page, and I leveraged it into a couple of applications. I think I put 8 applications out in maybe the last 5 days for gigs. Yeah, it was just an incredible testimony. People I don't even know wrote to me and said, like, wow, like, what a great testimony.
Cool. No, that's good. Here's the great thing, man. If you're doing great work out in the marketplace, it gets recognized. And I think it's a cautionary tale to most entrepreneurs that the loudest people will never be the people who appreciate you the most. Let me say it again. The loudest voice will never be from the people who appreciate you the most. And we forget that sometimes, that, the people who are the most upset online, or the loudest people online, are usually the 1 or 2 people that are complaining. They're not the ones that are the ones that appreciate our products and services the most. So just keep that in mind, that they're typing into a blank void if you receive negativity, and they don't have a reason or a prompt to say anything positive until you ask them for a testimonial or something in writing. And we know that can be difficult for people to be put on the spot to give a testimonial. So we've built that into our processes. That's why we do this call, right? All of our testimonial videos and results videos that are on our site come from this call. Why? Because it's an easy way. When you just share your win, we can just clip that out and we got our testimonial. versus saying, Valencia, can you write me 3 sentences about how we helped you last week? And she like, dude, you just gave me another job, right? But if I just say, hey, what happened this week? Oh, I got this and I did this and I did that. Now we got a whole wall full of, I think I have 300 or almost 400 testimonials that I've clipped out of these calls, right?
Wow.
Over the last 4 months or so. So this is one of the ways that you can get testimonials and feedback from your clients is by hosting conversations and community-based things so that you can get direct feedback. Another thing you can do is host your own podcast. As you develop your products and services, host your own podcast. And the criteria to be on your podcast is they got to be a client of yours. End up with a 30-minute testimonial, right? Now, you don't sit on the whole call and say, and then what did I do for you? And then what did I do for you? No, you let them tell their story. But then naturally, if you've helped them, they'll say, yeah, before we started working together, I was able to, I was struggling with this, but you helped me to solve that. And when I implemented it, my business went this way. So you can create a podcast for your clients in order to collect testimonials. Imagine if Valencia was able to interview the CEO or the director of the co-working place that she got the contract with last month, right? Now, if that co-working place is a nationally recognized brand, she can just send that interview directly to the other branches of that co-working place. And now she has a contract with the one in this state and this city and this city and this city because they're all under the same brand. So now she just turned that one interview into a source of referrals. Does that make sense? So one thing that we are very intentional on is how do you define a speaking gig, right? And I want to go over that because I think the way that you define something determines the way that you treat it and the way that you appreciate it. So let's open up the floor, and in 30 seconds, just give me some feedback about what is a speaking gig. There's no wrong answer, so don't be afraid. I'll start calling on people.
I would say a speaking gig is an opportunity to speak, whether it's virtual, whether it's in person. It doesn't have to be paid because we know we can get paid from it on the back end. So that's my definition.
Okay. Yeah.
It's an opportunity to share something with an audience that you're giving them something and they give you something back. It's reciprocal, but it's an opportunity to share.
Yep. Anything to add on top of that?
I always look at it as it's an opportunity to either inform, educate, entertain, or some combination of the above. And the size of the audience, to be quite honestly, doesn't matter.
Inform, educate, and entertain.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. I mean, E-I-E-I-O. Can we got to figure out a way to say that. What is the I-E-E? Inform, educate, entertain. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I like that. Go ahead.
When I do speaking engagements, I usually start off by, today I'm going to shock you. I'm going to surprise you. I'm going to fascinate you. And I hope I'm going to motivate you to look inside and be willing to change your life, jump off that cliff, and get fear to stop disabling you. And it's amazing what happens to people when they hear that, because it does motivate. When I start telling them things that I've done, I mean, they're blown away because I say yes to things that I've never done before, because I believe that you don't know that you can't do it. You made up your mind you can't do it. I mean, and you don't know it until you try. And all you have to do is, if you try and it doesn't work, I say it is a lesson in the classroom called life. And if you go, I tell people, try to pick up that pen off the desk. You either do or you don't. And if you drop it, then you're not going to pick it up by the point. You'll pick it up in a different way. You'll do it differently. And it's the same thing with everything. Say yes, don't say no.
Well,
and
100%.
I think that's the opportunity. Yeah.
I think those are golden words,
Yeah.
Really, like, dude, so many gems. Any other ways to define a speaking gig?
piggybacking on what was just said, I've always thought of it as an opportunity to engage, educate, and entertain.
Hey, I
EEE.
like that. I like that. So we got
E.
we IEEEE. We had some E's. Who got an O? Someone, can I get an O for 250? Can I buy a file? You know, any other feedback? Because I got a trick question I'm going to ask in a moment. Right?
Please.
Any other things about the what, how do you define a speaking gig? Because I want to make this point, so I want to kind of stay focused with it. Is there any other ways to define a speaking gig? So someone said sharing your message with an audience, right? That was one of the responses. Do you need an audience for it to be a speaking gig?
I would say yes.
Right?
Not right and on the spot, but
Sure.
as long as you're videotaping it, you will have an audience one day.
Okay, all right. That's all right. He kind of hit on some other stuff. You see, he gave us 3 answers. He cheated. He said, yeah, you need an audience, but wait a minute, maybe you don't. But but if you got video, right? So you don't need an audience to be a speaker. We talk to ourselves all the time. Probably the most important person we give speeches to is ourselves. Right? We talk ourselves out of stuff. We talk ourselves into stuff like Georgie was talking about. But remember that you don't always need a live audience to be effective. So Kevin leaned into something that I think is really important, which is like an unrecognized stage for speakers, which is video, right? You can turn on Zoom and record your own talk, practicing, getting feedback, putting it into ChatGPT, learning to make it better, but also posting it to YouTube. The audience doesn't have to be live. You can have an asynchronous audience, right? So Nakia can make a 5-minute video talking about why a fractional CFO for a certain company of a certain size is more valuable than them struggling to pay a full-time CFO, right? And that 5-minute video she can put on YouTube, and the people who are looking up what is a fractional CFO can hear her speech and her perspective and maybe her framework on how she does what she does asynchronously. So don't limit yourself thinking I can only share my message when someone hires me to share my message. Hire yourself. Hire yourself. Turn on Zoom. You don't need no fancy equipment. Y'all talk all y'all want on here with me, but y'all can't talk on there by yourself. Turn the same Zoom on and just click the record button and record yourself. Zoom even has the editor in the thing where you can edit the video and cut out the end and cut out the part when you was playing with the mic and edit it down, download it, and put it on YouTube. You can even go live directly in Zoom. When I was on my thing, it asked, do I want to go live on YouTube? Directly in Zoom. So you can just go live talking to yourself and people will tune in to your YouTube channel live. Bonnie did it. Bonnie tried to upload her video like that last week. You can do that and do your own speaking gigs, right? Now, why is that important? Let me ask you a question. I'm going to pick on Nakia for a second. Nakia, do you charge a fee for showing up to speak?
I am brand new to the speaking world, so right now, no.
Okay, let's say you did. What would you charge?
I don't even know what the
Make up a number.
rate.
Think of the highest number you think somebody would pay.
$500.
$500, right? And what do you charge for your CFO services?
So it's kind of bespoke depending on what a person needs.
Just
but
on average.
I'll say like $2,000.
$2,000 for the whole year, or in what interval?
That's a month.
$2,000 per month. And over what period of time? Do they have to sign a contract with you?
Like a 3-month minimum to start, and then it's
Okay.
month to month after that.
So at worst, a client of hers is worth $6,000. At worst. That's the worst case scenario, right? So if you were going to be in a room full of business owners that were under $500,000 in revenue, right? That's kind of like the ideal spot for what you do, in my assumption, in my personal
Yep.
research.
Yep.
um, if you're in a room with 20 of those folks and they said, look, we'll pay you $500 to come talk to them, but you can't pitch your services, right? You can just come in and give the talk, but you can't talk about, like, you can't invite them saying, hey, you can use my stuff. Let me know if I can help you, blah, blah, blah. Or you come talk for free and talk as much as you want about your business, as long as you're focused on providing some value and it's not just an infomercial. Which one would you take?
The free option.
Why?
Because the value that I provide in my presentation, I feel would lead them to contact me later to, discuss my services.
100%. 100%, right? So now let's tie those two things together. So we got her to admit that she would do a free gig, right? If she hired herself to do the same free gig, what could she do? She could put it on YouTube, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to show you all something. We talked about this a few months ago, but I ran some recent ads for myself because I wanted to show you all this and bring it back to tie it back in. So you can see I've been running ads recently and I just paused one, but I'm going to go in here and I'm going to show you something. Right? So this is Google, my Google Ads platform, if it'll open. Let's see if I can get in here. And I want to show, this is bananas what I'm about to show you guys, because it allows you to cheat. Do you hear me? I'm talking about, like, this is totally cheating. So I went on a podcast. I believe in running ads to my podcast. And you can see to this podcast, I've driven 10,000, put it in front of 10,000 people and added 1,260 30-second views. YouTube only charges you if the person watches your video for 30 seconds. So last month, let's see, I ran some ads to this campaign, and I want to show you how I did it, because this is totally cheating. So imagine if instead of using a podcast I'd already been on, Nakia just made a 30-second video or a 20-minute video talking about CFO services. Is that fair? Now, watch what we did. Let me open this up. This is the video. You can see it's just a YouTube video. It's not even on my channel. So you can run an ad. You can use any video on YouTube as an ad. So if your podcast host that had you on their show, if they don't give you the video, who cares? Just take their link and put it in there. You can treat their video as an ad. Is that fair?
Mm-hmm.
Now, let me show you the results of me being on this podcast. And, right? So these are the people that have contacted me because they saw me on that podcast. And they say it. Hey, I watched you on We Are Created for More with Chantel. This person, same thing. Hey, I saw you on Created for More. Gregory, saw you on Chantel's podcast. How can I help? How can you help me? So I know that this video converts. Does that make sense? So what did I do that was really cool, though? Let me see if I can bring it up. Down here it says audiences, content, and keywords. So I picked the keywords I wanted that to show up on if someone searched for it inside of YouTube, right? So you can see this one was public speaking. If somebody searched for public speaking, I wanted them to see that. So imagine if someone searched for fractional CFO. But then I also knew that people watch Myron Golden. And Myron Golden is always talking about public speaking and how he closes from the stage. So I said,
like
any
Myron.
video that comes on Myron Golden's page, put this on there. Let me show you how you do this. This is cheating. I can pick the videos that I want. I picked all the individual videos, the top 5 public speaking comment. I picked the videos that my ads will show on. So imagine there's a video on CFOs that has millions of views. That's the one YouTube gonna show, and that's the one we're most likely to click on. So I want my ad to run on that before they get to see the video they want. I want them to see me as a fractional CFO. Don't tell me you can't get paid from no audience. Audience of zero. You giving your own speaking gig at your house with your webcam and your own Zoom, getting in front of the audience that you chose. You pick the person who sees it. I mean, this is cheating. If you're trying to use speaking to grow, look at this. I can run it on any channel. So that was the YouTube videos. I also picked the channels. Well, which channels did I pick? Right? So that's the video. Let me see if I can pick the one with the channels on it. Let's see. 25 selected. I want the channels. One of the channels was Vin Jiang. I love his stuff. I know he teaches people how to be better with their words. Another channel was Chiara Azadi. Another channel was Myron Golden. Another channel was Social Proof, David Shands. I use David as an example on here all the time. I definitely picked this channel. So if I wanted to add, if I said, you know what, put me on this Created for More thing. I want to run my ads on top of Created for More. I can just type in Created. We are Created for More. And it's going to tell me if it comes up as a channel. Is there a channel called that? Let's see, 1 second. Let me take this. You can take the URL from that and put it in here. Boom, it just found the channel. Now I can say, run my ads on that channel. You see that?
Mhm.
Have you all ever seen anybody do this before, or is this new?
It's new to me.
Is this not a game changer?
Yeah, I didn't know you can run ads on somebody else's channel. That's something that you can pick the channel
You pick
want
the
your ads to
video.
run in. Huh?
I can say only show I can pick an Oprah Winfrey video and
You're
say
kidding.
only show it when people watch this video.
Wow.
If one of my competitors, if Lethea is one of my competitors, I can say anytime somebody watches something on Lethea channel, show SpeakerHub. I should do that to all my haters. Everybody that hates me, just put my face on all their videos. Like, yeah, you don't want to watch that on this channel. This channel is stupid. I'm Ron Story. You don't want to be on this channel. This dude is a scam artist. They steal your money. Oh, that would be amazing. I'm not going to do that, but I'm just saying it's possible. The options are limitless. Right? But moral of the story.
I like that.
Yeah, but that's cheating, right? So I ran these ads and then I contacted the person whose videos, like when I go on their podcast, and I just send them a thing. I say, man, I see, because they don't know I'm running ads to their video. You know what I say? Hey, I see my video is blowing up on your channel. They're like, yeah, all of a sudden it's the second most watched video on my channel. I say, yo, can you share some of the metrics with me? Can you tell me how long people watch it? And they be like, yeah, they watching like 22 minutes on an ad. They think they listening to Earn Your Leisure and they listen to me. Cheating. Go ahead, Georgine.
Well, I would say I don't like the word cheating. I would say thinking outside the box.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, I
Yeah, I don't like that word.
I'm not the
Because
best
it isn't
speaker,
really. It's
but
just
yeah,
thinking
thinking
outside the box. Yeah.
Guys,
I
that
call
is
it a
thinking
hack.
outside the box.
I call it a very brilliant hack.
Now
That's
I'm going to
it. So-
start looking at the ads that run on my videos. I'm going to start checking that out.
Yeah, I mean, I'm telling you, it's the coolest thing. Now, so you can create and get in front of your audience, right? So as a speaker, if you are stage fright and you are afraid, turn on the camera in your house. You done practice being on Zoom more than what you've practiced being on a live stage. Hop on Zoom. If you mess up, start it over, redo it. Practice. You can share your screen. You can do all of that. You ain't got to learn how to use the clicker and all that crap. You got to do at a live event. You can just do it right here, get in front of your folks and make your money. Right? See, again, I be getting excited about this because I ain't used to talk about this stuff with y'all. I used to keep it in my back pocket because they used to make me feel bad because I wasn't a professional speaker. So I would keep it in my, I'm like, dude, I know that what they talking about is wrong, but this is about speaking. I'm really not a speaker. I'm an entrepreneur who just happens to build a business speaking. So I don't get paid the $10,000 up front. I ain't that coordinated, right? But I've gotten my money by selling when I get on the stage or creating my own stages. Now I can pull that out because I don't care if you get paid up front. Cool. You're going to learn over here though. This is what we teach. So we just picked our lane and I'm about to give away all the goods. Because when I talk to my speaker friends, I'm like, wait, y'all don't know this? What? This is, y'all in the right place. Let me just say that. You all are in the right place. If you're trying to build a business with speaking, your self-worth is no longer attached to an event planner's budget. If you are as good as you think you are, turn on the video, record it. YouTube is your new stage. I don't make no money off of that, but YouTube is your new stage. Now, why is that important? Because if you're picking up momentum that way, you got videos you can send out. That can be part of your speaker reel. You can use it to get booked on other people's podcasts where they can try you out. Here are 5 videos I did on YouTube that have X number of views. Here's the great thing. All of those views that you see here and here, let me get out of here. The views that it told you I had or whatever, what did it say at the thing? I can't remember where it is. Reports and insights. I think this is it. I be lost on here, guys. Y'all got to forgive me. Those views or whatever it said, there it is. Guess where those views show up? On the video. So if you got a YouTube page that got 13 views on your videos, are you worth $10? Is it worth $10 to put that view, to put on your own video to raise the number of views? So now your page doesn't have a video with 3 views on it. Put $20 behind it and show it to the right people. Look at what I paid. Watch this. Here's the point I wanted to make. I got to see what my clicks were. So let's see, advanced bid adjustments. Again, they be changing this thing too much and it be driving me up the wall. But I can see how much it cost me per click. Let me see, last 28 days, performance. All right, so I spent $88 to get 10,000 people to see my stuff. That is good, right? $8 per 10. And then it usually will show me my number of clicks. See, show me my clicks, last 28, right? All right, here it is. Clicks, 28 days. I got 30 clicks for those $88. That's $3 a click. Would you pay somebody $3 to come look at your product or service that you sell for $100?
Of course.
Yeah, we would, right? Again, y'all got to forgive me with my my clumsiness with this, but I'm learning and I'm getting better along with you guys. But the point I'm making is we could do this. This ain't that hard, right? And you can pick what country it shows in. You can see all the way down. People love my stuff in California, right? California, Texas, I'm rolling. Even got 4 people in Alaska that watched, right? So my average cost per view, 7 cents. You see that? Average cost per view, 7 cents. 10,000 people saw it. That is bananas. Yeah, any of y'all ever spoke in front of a room with 10,000 people?
No.
I just did it on the internet. And 30 of them came over and signed up on our thing. Now, let me tell you why I had to go back and review this. Because somebody came on the call on Monday and I said, hey, what'd you find out about us? He said, I think it was an ad on YouTube. And I said, oh, shoot, I forgot I was running them ads. Bananas. Bananas.
Ron, did you study anything or look at anything to teach you how to understand the Google ads before you did it?
Did you just see me fooling around with this thing? I don't know what I'm doing. You just saw me look like an idiot for 8 minutes trying to show y'all what my cost per view. Now, look, I got a certain amount I'm willing to lose, and I just call it tuition.
Yeah.
I can spend $100 on somebody's course, or I could just spend $100 on ads and figure it out. Right? Because it ain't the last $100 I'm going to spend, and the $100 I give them is sunk cost anyway. I'm not getting any views off of that. I may as well just put 5 campaigns together at $20 a piece and figure it out. Now, here's what I know. There's speakers all over the world. The US is the most expensive market to advertise in, right? It's the most expensive market in the world to advertise in. So, but they need fractional CFOs everywhere. We just hired a company to give us 4 different coaches that are fractional. So I know companies everywhere need your services, Nakia. So I wouldn't just focus on the States, because you can do it virtually, especially stuff that just deals with QuickBooks or Peachtree and Zoom meetings. So outside of the US, here it is. In the US, it's $20 per 1,000 people that you show an ad to. Outside of the US, it's $3. It's a 7x difference. 7x difference. So if you sell a digital product, don't limit yourself to just people in the States. I live in Medellin, Colombia. I still watch Earn Your Leisure. I still watch all the same stuff that the people in America are watching. And you can filter by what language their YouTube channel is in. So if you can say, I only want the English speakers. Right? Because we just got to remove the excuse that nobody's picking me. I wouldn't pick you either if you ain't picking yourself. Why, if you don't believe, why should I believe? If you ain't making content, why should I bring you in front of my folks? I'm just being real. Like, oh, you believe in long form, but you have no long form. Cool. Right? Any questions so far? Was this? No, I didn't go all the way into it. I just wanted to kind of show you, like, yo, turn on Zoom, make a video, put it out there, create your own stage, pick the people you want to watch it. If you don't know which people you want to watch it, and you know your competitors, put your stuff on your competitors' video. You ain't even got to pick the people. Just say, anybody watch this video, they probably like me. Right? Any questions or feedback? Valencia, what's up?
Yeah. So when you your call to action on that podcast, what did you do? Because they started, I guess, sending you messages on LinkedIn. Is that what happened?
So I was teaching how to get speaking gigs using LinkedIn. Now, I'm a firm believer that you should practice what you preach. So they were already in LinkedIn. I know people be following your video and doing the stuff in LinkedIn. You think I'm going to tell them to open up another window? No, look me up on LinkedIn and send me a message. You already in there. Why would I take you out of the environment where we're winning? You're already in LinkedIn. Just hit me up on LinkedIn. Send me a message there. I got you. I'm not going to say, go to my landing page and click on this and take out the QR code and then jump up 3 times and do 3 backflips. No, send me a daggone DM right here in LinkedIn while you're here.
Okay, quick question on that. Because LinkedIn can be, I mean, it depends on how you have it set up, your LinkedIn, for them to get to you quickly. Like I'll say Instagram because that's easier, but is there a trick or something for LinkedIn?
Well, again, I use LinkedIn because I was teaching LinkedIn. That was the environment. That video is how to get speaking gigs on LinkedIn. So they were already in that environment. If I was teaching something about Instagram, I would have told them to hit me up on Instagram. If I was teaching something about Facebook, I would have told them to hit me up on Facebook. If I was teaching about landing pages, I would have told them, go look at my landing page. And if you want to test it out, put your information in there. That would have been my call to action. Funnel hack my funnel. If I was teaching about QR codes, I would have used my speaker QR and just had them use my speaker QR. Does that make sense? If I was teaching Speaker One sheets, I would have said, hey, go to my Speaker One sheet, and over in the corner, there's a section that says testimonials. Put in a testimonial, and you'll see how the testimonial function works. That's the versatility of us knowing our stuff. When we talked about the 7 habits yesterday, right? For those that weren't here, right? When we talked about this yesterday, the first habit is what? Be proactive. The second habit is begin with the end in mind and then put first things first. So what am I going to do? Well, I know I'm going on this podcast this week. This podcast is called How to Buy Businesses with No Money Down. Cool. So what are they probably on there listening for? Something about buying a business with no money down, right? So let me just go ahead and put together and start thinking through what I want them to do, and I'm going to talk about it ahead of time. So I put together my thoughts about being on that podcast, right? And then my download is the win-win. Well, dude, if I'm going to be talking about that, let me show them my businesses. Do you see what I mean? So, because I can show them the businesses that I bought. So I can keep them in that environment, but it just requires me to be prepared ahead of time. Does that make sense? So now once I've given them the win-win stuff, I've, been understood by performing on the podcast. Now my call to action is my synergy, my offer to synergize, to work with them. I'm going to keep them in that environment. Does that make sense? So if I'm giving a live speech, I'm not going to say, when y'all get home, look me up. No, pull out your phone right now. Don't wait till you get home. Take out your phone right now. I'm going to give you a copy. Y'all want a copy of my slides? Yeah, we want a copy of your slides. Take out your phone right now. Take a picture of this QR code. I will send you my slides. What are they going to pay me with? How do you get paid for your slides? Anybody know? How do you get paid for your slides at a speaking gig?
Have
On
an
some
offer
of
on it?
mine, I've used the
Talking
I'll-
that?
instead of making it a freebie, I make it a where when it takes them to my page, that is choose your own price. And most people, if they think it's valuable, feel bad about leaving it at a 0. So they'll put in 10 or 20 or whatever. So I'm not trying to make money on it necessarily, but that's one of the ways I do.
AJ said something that's no, Nicole, you're right. Hey, look, you can get paid with cash, but AJ said something that's interesting also.
But no, that's true too.
He said, look, let me give you an example. If someone said, hey, I'm in your target audience, you can have 2 things. I'll give you $5 for your slide, or I'll give you my email address so you can keep in touch with me. Which one you taking?
Email.
I'm taking both because my system does both.
Look at that. I like that.
I'm greedy.
There it is.
I'm
Hey,
greedy.
do it. Do it if you can, right? Right. But think about that, right? The email is valuable because they may buy from you down the road. Not everybody, but they may buy from you down the road. And if you can get both, if your download is a book or something where they buy your book and they give you their email address, do what Nicole's talking about. There are no rules. Let me just put that out there. There are no rules. I joke about it all the time, but let me just kind of, what do they say? Beat this cow to death, right? Let me beat this horse to death right here. What exam did you take to become a speaker?
Life.
What exam did you take to become an entrepreneur?
I studied and worked in education.
What was it required? No, it's not required. So being an entrepreneur and being a speaker are 2 professions that you just got to say you are who you are and then be it, which means you can move at your own pace. So stop comparing yourself to other folks that's been doing it longer than you, that may have invested in a different way than what you've had. They may have different outcomes. Stop doing the comparison game. That's the source of all your inaction, because you think people are in front of you. Don't nobody want to tell you that, but I'm just telling you, like, it's the source of all of our inactivity is we don't feel good enough because we saw someone else do it bigger. How about you just do it where you are? Just get started. But we compare it with like, well, man, they did theirs like this. I'm gonna wait until I get mine like that. No, you're gonna lose. That's why I wanted to talk about this YouTube thing today, because now you have no excuse to not be on stage. I'm waiting on the first person next week to say, yeah, I got to win. I made a YouTube video and I shared it with 2,000 people over the weekend. If you really want to be impactful, you would do that. If you really were worth $20, if you ain't paying yourself $20 to speak, why should they pay you to speak?
I have the videos. I'm just going to do the.
If you wouldn't pay $100 for yourself to promote yourself in your speech, why the heck would they give you $2,000 to come talk? You don't even pay for your speech. We just got to put that energy out in the world. We got to put it out there. Let people know that, look, I am as good as they say I am. I'm just unknown. Nikia, are you trustworthy? Right?
Absolutely.
Are you likable?
Yes.
So you're just unknown. So hop on the video, show that you're trustworthy, be likable, and then spend $6 to show people. Now, I'm going to remove the excuse altogether because I know what people going to say. They're going to say, yeah, but man, I know I ain't got money to invest in that. Cool. See, I know I'm proactive. I've already figured this out. Watch this. Look at what Google will give you. They're going to give you $350. Google will pay you $350 to give your speech on YouTube. You see that? You want me to send you the link? I got to log out, but I'm going to copy the link and put it in the chat. They're going to give you $350. It actually goes up to $1,000. The $350 is the lowest one. It actually goes up to $1,000.
If you do what? If you put an ad, repeat what you said, Ron?
Yeah, watch this here. Because I'm in Colombia and I already used mine. It won't show it again. But I'm gonna put the link in the chat. And Ange, if you want to click on that link in the incognito window and share it, share your screen, that would be great. But think about it. Google is gonna pay you to speak. All right. Mm-hmm. Look, dude, the winner's gonna win. That's all I'm saying. We gonna kill the excuses. The winner's gonna win. What came up, Ange, when you clicked on that?
So with all the videos that I have on YouTube, Ron, I can just go and just run ads to them?
Yep. Hold on. But wait. Let me tell you what you want. You want to put the money behind the best Jasmine. Right? Are you better today than you were 6 months ago when you made those other videos?
Oh yeah, but yeah,
okay,
I'm constantly making videos.
Do a new one. Be a new one. Create a new video. But you go up to the top, it's $1,000. If you put in $350, they'll give you another $350 back. If you put in $1,000, they'll give you $700 back. If you put in $2,000, they'll give you another $1,000 back, right? But you pick wherever you want to go. I would say just do the $350 because that'll get you in front of a lot of people. And Nikia, since your minimum contract is $6,000, if you had a machine where you put $350 in and it got you back $6,000, how many times did you put $350 in there? Every day.
An infinite amount.
Look, she a CFO. She ain't a stupid CFO. She said, look, I would tell my client to put all of their money in that slot machine. Right? Is this helpful, guys?
Yes.
Because I wanted to kind of leave Easter on a bang. We still gonna have our meeting tomorrow, but I'm like, yo, man, like, we gonna sit and wait forever for people to come and pick us? especially people that we
Sorry.
better than. Most
I'll
we
be in
got more
church on Good Friday.
these event planners. What were you gonna say?
I'll be in church on Good Friday, Ron.
Hey, well, hey, we had it
Even?
today. We had business church today. Amen. Right? And I ain't even
Yeah.
taking up an offering. I'm
Not
giving away
passing the
money.
plate?
What church you go to?
I said,
where
you're
they
not
tell
passing the
you-
plate?
right? So really quickly, I want to kind of look at this because I think it's very interesting that I used to be frustrated when I first got into the software business because I would apply for these grants and these investment funds and stuff, and they would tell me no. But I'm looking at the dude who told me no, and he ain't never built nothing. And I'm like, wait a minute, you ain't never ran a company, but you making decisions on which companies are good or not. You ain't never been in my position, but your decision affects my psyche. Your decision affects how I feel about this business. Dude, I wish I would let somebody with a $250 budget make me feel like I'm not a good speaker. You ain't got to pick me. I pick myself. Just being real. Like we are motivational speakers, inspirational speakers. We have the power of life and death in our tongues, but yet we let somebody else's wicked tongue destroy us and discourage us and make us feel like we're not good enough. To hell with them people. Now we don't have an excuse. The world is our stage. Now we can go to these smaller stages, podcast, press, conferences, things of that sort. But we can also control on the outside what we can do. Any other questions? We're 1 minute in overtime. This is normally when we end, but we go into overtime at 12 until my next meeting. So before we get to Jasmine, let me let you know how much time I got in overtime today. I got until 12:30 for overtime. So Jasmine, what's up?
Yeah, I'm the same vein here. So I sent out a pitch and right in my sweet spot, what I do, what I've done for 30 years. And it's really what you're saying, don't let anybody, categorize you or make you feel like you're not a speaker. So her response was, I'm sorry, but we don't pay speakers. There's nothing in my pitch asking for money. My pitch clearly presented what I do and the lives I can change. So I emailed her back and I said, really sorry, that's, my motivator is not money. My motivator is to share my message to as many people as possible. Along the way, we do earn an income. But if you see that you can use me in your audience, please feel free to let me know. And she apologized to me when she get back because she has a two-liner. Sorry, don't pay speakers. So, so I'm just saying to myself, I'll get paid one way or the other, but I didn't ask you in my first email for money. So let me tell you right now what my motivation is. And she apologized and, of course, send a proposal in.
There it is. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
We got to be, if we don't have that confidence in ourselves, why should somebody else? Right? Just because they not creative on how they pay me, don't mean I can't be creative on how I get paid. I'm just saying. The goal here, guys, is to win. I ain't trying to compete with all these other idiots that are going to be scared because they saw those two lines. Jasmine did exactly what I would have did. She said, well, who says something about money? You talk about oil. Who mentioned? Y'all remember the Dave Chappelle skit where he was like, oil, who brought up oil, right? Like who brought up money? Like, do you want me to speak or not? I'll figure it out. So, dude, this is a game changer for those who decide to use it, especially since Google is going to give you $350 to promote yourself. Now, the great thing about it, it doesn't all have to be used at one time. You could do $10, they'll match you 10, $20, they match you, right? But they don't give you the $350 credit until you spent the entire first $350. But it don't have to be done right away. You put that coupon code in and you spend it over time. Does that make sense? So here's the other cool thing. LinkedIn has the same thing, and they give you $600. So, Nakia, you work with certain level of companies. You go put that code in over in LinkedIn and you run the ads on LinkedIn to show it to the CEOs of companies. Does that make sense? And you say, I want companies that don't have a CFO. And you probably know what range. Most companies under 20 employees don't have a CFO, but they probably need one at that point because they got so many HR issues and all the other financial things that they're trying to go from one level to another. Does that make sense? LinkedIn will give you $600. I'll show you. Again, we are a show your work company here at SpeakerHub. We do not teach anything we're not living in real life. So anything I ever show you is based on me actually doing it. It's not based on, well, my mama said. My mama ain't said nothing. I'm not going to lie to you like that. I'm going to tell you the truth, and I'm going to show you what we doing, right? So let me show you again. Let's go here to my account settings, go over here to billing, and let me see credits and promotions. Bam. There it is. What LinkedIn gave me last year, they gave me $100. Just in January, they gave me $300. How much I still got left? Another $300. You see that? LinkedIn ads promotion. Got it? So what do? You come over here and you come in and you type free LinkedIn ads credit. And it's on LinkedIn. I got to copy the link because I already used mine. It's not going to show me. I'm going to put it in the chat. So y'all just got $500 by coming on here today. You got $350 from Google, another $150 from LinkedIn. Ange, can you share your screen to show the screen for this one? Georgine, you should be able to sell a bunch of books.
Yes, you bet.
That's it. Look, this guaranteed money. Everybody win. You get a car. You get a car. You get a car. Right? There it is. $150 credit. Just put in your LinkedIn your LinkedIn email address. They give you $150 credit.
I love it.
It's the coolest thing ever, especially in whether you're selling books. Imagine your YouTube video talking about your book, Georgine, or Nakia. Imagine you being able to target those companies. Right?
Well, also I do strategic intervention life coaching, and so I take a few clients, exceptional clients, and so that's something that I want to do a bit of, continue a bit. And I'm going back to my podcasting too. I had a channel on the Edge with Georgine Summers, and I was on Voice America with it, and then I was also on
Uh-oh, I think she froze. Right? Georgine, you still there? Okay, she froze for a minute. But here's the thing. We can help you to get on more podcasts, right? So I wanted to talk about this today because what's better than this? Going straight to the source, right? We can just build the business we want to build, create my own stage, and I can still get on podcasts, and I can still do press. I can get writing credentials. Nakia, imagine if you got to write for Business Insider or Wall Street Journal or Forbes. We can help you with that. That's what we help our clients to do, right? Imagine if you were able to speak at different $1 million roundtable for financial advisors or some of these other places that the local chambers of commerce. We can show you how to do all of that. Any other questions while I'm here today about anything that we've talked about today? Was this helpful? Was this good? Right?
Thank you.
Just why did you hold out on the YouTube and the ads thing?
No, we talked about this 2 months ago, but YouTube changed the system. They changed it where if you go directly to YouTube, I had to find a workaround. If you go and you type in YouTube ads, watch what happens. See, what I showed you is a pro tip. You won't find this any other way. If you just type in YouTube ads, watch what they're going to do. I click on it and I say, okay, start. Right? And I pick this account or whatever. They keep taking me over here. But what they usually do, they put you over here in this YouTube thing and they make you do promotions, right? And there's a thing called YouTube promotions. You're like, dude, what is this? Hold on, let me see if I can find it. I want to actually show it to you because it's a different thing. YouTube. Let me log out of my ads account and I'll show you. Watch what they're going to make me do. They're going to make me do something dumb. Start now. Cool. Right? And let me pick it. Bam. All right. So I just signed in. Let's see. Usually it takes me over into YouTube. Yeah, you see this? It's bringing me over to YouTube. And it's called YouTube promotions. I'll show it to you so you can just see what I'm talking about. So when you go into your YouTube studio, there's a thing over here that used to be called promotions. Where is the promotions thing? I can't find it. But it used to be called promotions, and you had to go ahead and you would do it that way. And I'm like, dude, this is stupid. Why did you all start doing this? And the other day I found that I could do it this way, the old way. But it used to be called promotions. I can't find, oh, here it is. YouTube promotions. When you do it this way, it doesn't let you pick what channel. You can pick the video, right? So I can only pick the videos from my channel. I can't pick my podcast when I'm on somebody else's podcast. Does that make sense? You notice I was on Chantel's channel. I can't put that in here. I can only do that going through the back door. Right? So I didn't hold out on you. I just didn't know the way after they changed how it all works. Anything else? Any other questions? Nikhil, was this worth it? Cool. You're always welcome back. We do this Monday through Friday, 12 p.m. noon until 1 p.m. I'll be here tomorrow. Ange won't be here. I'll be working on Good Friday because I'm going to make it a Good Friday. So if y'all want to join me here tomorrow, I will be here talking some more stuff. I didn't even get into what I wanted to talk about. Like I had another thing, but then I'm like, oh, I got something. But tomorrow I'm going to break out something that I haven't shown anybody
I'll pray for
besides
you
the
at
folks on
church
my
tomorrow.
team. Huh?
Pray for you at church tomorrow.
Oh yeah, do it. I need it every day. Pray for me at church today too.
Pray for us all.
Look
By the
at
way,
that. Look at that. I knew it was gonna be a hater here and come and try to steal
I
my
said pray for.
blessing.
I need it too. I need it. I need it bad. But I was just gonna say, when is gonna be the broadcast of this, rebroadcast of this? Because I need to watch this again, maybe 2 or 3 more times. There's a lot of good information in here.
Yeah, it may not be until Monday because at 2:00 our team is done for the day until next Monday.
It's
But
2:00 for all of them right now.
oh yeah, they already gone then because they in Buenos Aires, so they 2 hours ahead. But yeah, so it'll be up probably Monday or Tuesday when Raymar gets back to work. But yeah, I mean, the key is here's what I would tell you: make the videos over the weekend. Don't let, well, I ain't got the video. No, you don't need our video to turn on Zoom and to record your own. Make 5 videos of your own of your top 5 favorite topics. Right? There's a great site you can use. Let me go on because my other call ain't started yet. Here's the preview of what we're going to talk about. Let me move it around so y'all can't see it. Right? But we're going to talk about the growth ladder on Monday, which is bananas. This is game changing. You can always go here, answer the public. Right? So you can come in and answer the public and you can ask, what's your topic? Here, let's just pick one out of here. Right? So let's pick a YouTube video and I'm going to pick something off of SpeakerHub. Let me just pick one of these. Falling off. Here's how to read. That's a crazy name. But I'm going to take this. I'm going to put it in to answer the public. And let's see. I don't think you do it that way. Public speaking. What's your topic, Kevin?
Journaling for success.
So it's called personal journaling. That's the topic.
Personal journaling. Yes.
Right. So you can see, you can pick what people are looking for in your country. I'm going to put the United States, and I want the language to be Inglés. And I'm going to search, what are they searching for on YouTube? Now it's going to give me a list of all the stuff and the popular topics. Right. And you can do this for free. What you do is you personal finance journaling. Let me go ahead and log into mine because I actually got an account with them. The heck? Simultaneous access? Sign me out. All right. Here we go. So, oh, this is bringing up my old stuff. Paid to speak. What was it again? Personal journaling?
Personal journaling.
In the United States. Again, this is Answer the Public. You can use it for free. You can search for cut by country and language, right? So it's going to give you what they call wheels, where it takes one of the words, puts it in the middle, and give you all the keywords that surround it. So you see here, personal journaling is searched 5,000 times. Every click costs what? $3. Journaling for personal growth. That's one of the keywords. What's the other secondary keyword? Hold on, let me see. Journaling for, okay. Journaling for personal growth is searched 10 times, 210 times, and it's $1.49. But I can come and look and see what they're searching. Personal journaling. Right? Does that make sense? But people search for other stuff, but it just ain't ranking that high in YouTube. So your YouTube video, I would go around that. But then let me get a list of different topics. Journaling for personal growth. Boom. Did they spell something wrong? I don't know what that is. Personal journaling ideas, personal journaling app, personal journaling magazine. These are the ones that are getting searched. Does that make sense? Sort by volume, the highest ones first. So that's called Answer the Public. But here's the other thing. Google and YouTube are the same. So I want to see what they searching for in Google.
Ron, thank you. Happy Easter, everyone. Got to roll.
All right, see you later. Personal journaling books, personal journaling example, personal journaling prompts for men's health. You see that? So you can use Answer the Public to give you relevant keyword topics that you may want to use. You know, let's use public speaking, because this is one that I've used before, so I know.
Where is that Answer the Public?
Answerthepublic.com.
Oh, .com. Okay.
Yep. Answerthepublic.com. And it just gives you the keywords. Mine may be messing up because I got these ad blockers. So now you can see this is what it looks like when you get more searches. Look at that. Who uses public speaking? Who invented public speaking? Who's the father of public speaking? Which is acceptable for public speaking? You see how it gives you these topics? And then you make your videos around those topics. Are there public speaking classes and topics in college? Hey guys, I'm Kevin Hempstead. And you know, what I want to do today is to tell you about how you can get better at public speaking while you're in college. All of our Toastmasters are in every city. You can, as a college student, you can come to Toastmasters for free, right? Find a mentor, blah, blah, blah. Just make the daggone video, right? Again, we're already trustworthy. We're already likable. We're just unknown. But this keeps breaking out different things. And you can just keep using, you know, they break out different reels to give you different ways to talk about it. Public speaking versus death, right? Which one are people more afraid of? Public speaking.
So this is a free site?
It's free for so many times per day. And then you could buy a license to it. if you want, right? Anything else? AJ, Jasmine, Nicole ran away.
I'm heading out, Ron, to prepare for
Good
an
luck. Good
interview.
luck on your podcast. Knock it out
Thank
the
you.
park.
Thank you. Have a good
Anything else?
Easter.
Happy Easter. Eat some $10 Easter eggs. I know how high eggs are in the US. You know, we painting potatoes at my house. We ain't painting no eggs. Eggs cost too much.
They had an article on marshmallows. So the marshmallow company came out with tie-dye marshmallows for this year.
That's it. That's it. Eggs too high.
You
No, I'm
probably
about to
got
get some
chickens in
peeps.
your backyard, huh, Brian?
No, I ain't got no chickens in my backyard. I live in the mountains. I don't know if chickens fly up here where I live. I'm
Well,
7,000 feet above sea level.
You know the newest thing in Canada now, you know how the US, well, not the US, but how we're treated in Canada with the tariff, right? You know, the tariff war is going on, and we're not giving the US no eggs. So the thing they're saying, you treat us this day and you want our eggs? No.
Well, hey, man, I'm glad I live in Columbia. Eggs still cheap down here. You get 30
Bye.
eggs for $3. See y'all later. Right?
Happy-
Anything else? Anything else, guys? If not, I'll see you all later. I'll catch you all tomorrow on Good Friday. Have a good day. Bye-bye.